Welcome to the Deep Dive. We pull out the key insights from some really fascinating sources so you can get properly informed.
Yeah, today we're looking specifically at Dean Koontz's novel, One Door Away from Heaven, and some related stuff.
Exactly. We want to unpack these two uh, pretty mind-bending concepts, this momentous day and all the ways things are.
These are ideas that really push against how we normally think about reality.
It kind of reminds me of Richard Feynman, the physicist. He famously said, nobody understands quantum theory.
Right.
And that feels like a good starting point because these sources get into parallel realities, almost like quantum physics, but on a really human level.
It's a great connection. Feynman talked about tiny particles, but Koontz, he explores these quantum-like possibilities in our actual lives.
Also,
Well, think about his opening reflection. Each smallest act of kindness reverberates across great distances and spans of time. And he contrasts that with meanness and evil doing the same. That immediately suggests a universe where actions, they don't just happen, they branch out, they multiply, a bit like how some quantum theories talk about multiple universes popping up from every possible outcome.
so this momentous day,
Yeah,
it's tied into this.
exactly. It's this core belief in the sources that every single moment is huge, potentially transformative. It affects not just now, but maybe countless other potential realities too.
Wow. Okay, so for this deep dive, we're going to explore that interconnectedness and then really dig into this idea of parallel realities, what one character calls all the ways things are.
Yeah, how choices, kindness, tragedy, how they might ripple out, not just in one life, but maybe across loads of different versions of reality.
So here's the mission for you listening. As we explore this, think about how this idea of all the ways things are might shift how you view your own daily decisions, your impact here or maybe everywhere. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with the lives themselves that the sources weave together. You get these moments of everyday life right next to profound tragedy.
And a great starting point is Agnes Lampion. People call her the Pie Lady. Her life is just, wow, resilience defined.
Tell us about her.
Well, her relationship with her husband, Joey, it's painted with these really warm, sometimes funny moments, like Joey being super nervous when Agnes is in labor. She calls him Worry Bear.
Yeah.
But then there's this awful car crash. Joey dies, and their unborn son is threatened.
And that's where things get strange.
Right, because as Joey's dying, he says a name. Bartholomew. A name Agnes has never heard before. It's like he sees something.
A vision.
Seems like it. And Agnes promises to name their son Bartholomew. It sets up this thread of destiny or maybe foresight right from the beginning, suggests even personal tragedy might have this larger unseen connection.
That feeling of connection or maybe destiny. But then the sources give us the flip side, right? The dark echoes.
Oh, absolutely. Junior Cain, he's the stark contrast. Cold, calculated.
What does he do?
He pushes his partner, Naomi, off an observation tower, kills her, and then puts on this whole show of grief. Yeah, the book calls it an Olympian purge. He vomits theatrically. It's all an act. He uses sensitivity as a, quote, screen behind which to commit whatever ruthless acts he wants.
Chilling.
And his motto, humility is for losers. That tells you pretty much everything. He's actively working against any kind of positive connection.
So his choices ripple out too, but in a destructive way.
Exactly. It's a deliberate creation of negative ripples. Then there's Paul Damascus, another character marked by loss.
His wife.
Yes, Perry. Met her at 13, married at 22. She had polio, her body was whittled by it, and she eventually died.
How does he cope?
He walks long, solitary walks, hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's physical grief, but it's more. He's searching for the meaning of this momentous day. He heard the phrase from a Reverend Harrison White.
The phrase again.
Yeah. And eventually, Paul's journey leads him to the Reverend's place, and he ends up describing Agnes Lampion as an exceptional woman whose life will echo through the lives of countless others.
So even through pain, these lives connect and inspire. They're all sort of seeking meaning within this big, complex picture.
Precisely. They form this tapestry.
Okay, so we have these interconnected lives. But you mentioned earlier, what if the threads don't just connect, they branch?
Exactly. This is where it gets really fascinating. It goes beyond just lives touching each other. It gets into that all the ways things are idea.
And who introduces that?
Barty Lampion, Agnes and Joey's son, born on this momentous day. He's incredibly sharp, even as a kid, and he perceives reality differently.
How so? Give us an example.
The big one early on is his dry walk in wet weather. Christmas Eve, pouring rain, he walks right through it, getting absolutely hammered by the rain, but
Right.
he stays completely dry, not a drop on him.
Whoa, okay, that's not normal.
Not at all. And it's not presented as like a magic trick, is our first real clue about his innate connection to, well, other possibilities, other realities.
And how does he explain it?
It's so simple, but it hits hard. He says, everything that can happen does happen, and each different way of happening makes a whole new place.
A whole new place, like a parallel world.
Essentially, yes. And he says he just feels them.
Feel them, like an emotion. Okay.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The sources suggest it's almost like an extra sense, an unfiltered perception of all these possibilities that exist alongside ours. He just knows they're there.
Okay, that is a huge aha moment, a multiverse right there.
Pretty much. And he's not entirely alone in sensing this. There's Tom Vanadium.
The detective chasing Junior Cain.
That's him. He talks about having this certain awareness since he was a kid. He says, this perception of an infinitely more complex reality than what my 5 basic senses reveal.
So he feels it too.
Yeah, he says he can feel a lot of the other possibilities inherent in any situation, to know they exist simultaneously with my reality side by side. Each world is real as mine.
Wow. It's like a capacity some people just have.
Maybe dormant, most of us, yeah.
And Tom has that coin trick.
Yeah. He does. He shows it to Barty's future wife, Angel, when she's just a kid, makes a quarter vanish.
Wow.
He says he's throwing it into Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke. Like the old TV show.
Apparently,
Yeah.
a different reality. And he's careful to say it's not standard magic. He says magic is like stuff nobody knows how it happens. Implying this, he does know how it happens. He's interacting with another place.
So these worlds aren't just theoretical for him, they're accessible.
For some, yes. And Tom has this great metaphor to help picture it.
Oh, yeah.
The Swiss cheese metaphor. He says, imagine all these worlds like stacked slices of Swiss cheese.
Okay.
Sometimes the holes line up and you can see through one slice to the next, maybe through 2 or 3 or 5 slices if the holes keep overlapping.
Mm.
And he adds there are little holes too, constantly shifting, changing, second by second.
That's a vivid image. Stacked cheese, holes shifting. Makes you think about how much we might be missing in our own slice.
Exactly. How many unseen doorways might be right next to us?
And Tom connects this directly to morality, doesn't he? Gives it real significance.
He does. He believes that when each of us comes to a point where he has to make a significant moral decision, and each time he makes the less wise choice, that's where I myself believe a new world splits off.
So our bad choices literally create new, perhaps worse, realities.
That's his theory. He even thinks there's a better version of himself out there in worlds where he made the right choice.
That puts enormous weight on our decisions. It's not just about being good in this life.
Yeah.
It's like we're shaping reality itself, creating worlds with our choices.
It elevates ethics to like an act of creation, doesn't it? Personal accountability becomes fundamental.
So what kind of worlds, what kind of branches are we making?
Well, Barty, Agnes, and Grace talk about that using an oak tree metaphor for life.
An oak tree.
Yeah. One trunk to start with, and then all the branches, millions of branches, and every branch is the same life going in a new direction. And they wonder if making too many wrong choices makes the tree, gnarled, twisted, ugly. But they also think maybe making too few choices means you didn't take enough risks.
So it's nuanced. You need ethical choices, but also maybe the courage to branch out sometimes.
Seems like it. It requires care and courage.
And this perception, this ability, it carries on in the Lampion family.
It does, and it evolves. Bertie's wife, Angel, remember, she saw Tom's coin trick for what it was when she was little. You threw it into Gunsmoke.
All right.
Well, their daughter, Mary, takes it even further. She can actually travel to these other worlds.
Travel.
Like, physically.
The sources describe it as journeying. She goes around bad places to find good ones.
Yeah.
It's like she can navigate all the ways things are.
That's incredible. That's the ultimate manifestation of it, really. Active navigation.
It is, and it has profound meaning, especially when Barty faces tragedy. He gets retinoblastoma, loses his sight.
But then he develops this eyeless second sight. And later, Mary touches his temples, and his physical vision returns. But even before that, he sees through her journeys and the ways things are.
So even in blindness, he gains a different kind of sight, a connection through her to these other realities.
Exactly. It shows that even when this reality deals a terrible blow, these other ways, these branching paths, can offer different ways to understand, to heal, even to see.
Okay, let's bring this back to Koontz's opening idea then. If kindness echoes, So does malice. Each small meanness, each act of evil also reverberates. How does that play out with these branching realities?
Junior Cain is the perfect awful example. His evil escalates. First Naomi, then he seduces and murders a nurse, Victoria Bressler.
With the ice spoon, come on, the source notes. Creepy detail.
Incredibly creepy. Then he murders Reverend Harrison White. He gets this idea he has to kill Vanadium and Bartholomew, the people connected to this other reality, to stop being haunted by it.
So his evil choices create this destructive feedback loop.
Absolutely. And eventually it manifests physically. He gets these horrible boils on his face, voodoo Baptist boils, the book calls them, carbuncles. Like his inner rot is literally erupting outwards.
A physical echo of his choices.
You could say that. A tangible result of the dark branches he cultivated.
But opposing that, you have Tom Vanadium. His face is shattered, he's forced to retire, but he doesn't stop.
Nope, he's still a cop, official or not. His conscience drives him. He sees himself as the conscience that Enoch Cain seems to have been born without.
So the drive for justice persists, even across physical damage, maybe even across realities.
It seems to. It's this constant pushback against the darkness Cain represents.
And it makes you ask, right? There's so much suffering here. Fimmy's fate, Barty's cancer, Agnes's leukemia. Just immense pain.
Truly immense. Yet somehow kindness and love don't just endure, they seem to grow stronger in response.
How so?
You see Paul Damascus's unwavering support for Agnes. You see Agnes comforting her brothers when they can't handle Barty's illness. You see the whole Pie Lady Services community rallying around.
So connection provides resilience.
It really does. It's like the positive connections, the love reverberate just as strongly, maybe even more strongly, than the hate offering healing.
And what strikes me is, even knowing about all the ways things are, they live so fully in their reality. They feel the pain, the love, Barty's love for his family, Angel and Mary's gifts.
Right, they're grounded. And Agnes's final moments are so powerful. She sees Joey again, sees his beauty, and she tells Barty with total confidence, there's one place beyond all the ways things are.
Beyond all the branches, suggesting an ultimate destination, or unity.
It leaves you with that sense of hope, doesn't it? That maybe even within this infinite branching, there's a point of convergence, a transcendence.
So wrapping this up, we've looked at this pretty extraordinary idea, our lives, maybe branching out constantly with every choice. It really is mind-bending stuff. Challenges how you think about,
well,
everything.
It really does. And the sources tie it all back to this deep interconnectedness. Quote, all human lives are so profoundly and intricately entwined, those dead, those living, those generations yet to come, that the fate of all is the fate of each.
And the hope of humanity rests in every heart and in every pair of hands. Wow.
Yeah, this dive really showed how kindness, but also malice, can echo. Not just here, maybe across all the ways things are.
Which brings us back to that question for you listening. If every choice carves a new path, makes a new reality branch off.
What kind of branches are you growing on your own oak tree?
Right. And how does knowing that possibility, even just considering it, change how you approach today, this momentous day right now?
Definitely gives you something to think about. The weight and the potential in every single moment.
Food for thought, indeed. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.